Ever wondered how your favorite animation videos come to life? Animation is a captivating art form that transcends age barriers and geographical boundaries. Its magic lies in the ability to breathe life into inanimate figures, creating a world that is as real as, or sometimes even more enchanting than, our own. From entertaining cartoons to complex medical visualizations, animation finds its use in a multitude of industries. But how does a simple idea transform into a captivating animated video? This process is a symphony of art and technology, a dance of creativity and technicality. It involves a series of steps: planning, sketching, designing, animating, adding sound effects, editing, and exporting, each equally important in crafting the final masterpiece. Mastering this process requires not just artistic flair, but also a deep understanding of specialized tools. Join us as we unravel the magic behind creating animation videos. Every great animation starts with a compelling idea and a solid plan. Imagine you're a builder. Would you begin construction without a blueprint? Of course not. The same logic applies to animation. Before the first stroke of a digital pen, or the first frame of animation, there's planning and storyboarding. This is where your concept comes to life, the first tangible step in the animation process. Developing a concept is like planting a seed. You start with an idea, and as you nurture it, it grows into a full-fledged storyline. It could be anything from a simple comedy skit to an epic space adventure. Whatever it may be, the crucial part is defining it clearly. What is the story about? Who are the characters? What are the key scenes and events? These are questions you need to answer during this phase. Once you have a clear concept, the next step is to visualize it through a storyboard. Think of a storyboard as a visual script, a comic strip version of your animation. It allows you to map out your scenes, decide on the sequence of events, and get a sense of the pacing. It's a tool that helps you and anyone else involved in the project to visualize the end product. Storyboarding also helps you identify potential issues early on. Is a scene too complex? Does the story flow well? Is the pacing right? These are questions that are easier to address at the storyboard stage, rather than during the animation process. Remember, the storyboard doesn't have to be perfect. It's a rough draft, a guide. Don't get caught up in the details. Stick figures and basic shapes are good enough at this stage. The goal is to get the idea down, to map out your vision. Think of planning and storyboarding as the foundation of your animation project. Just like a house, if the foundation is solid, the rest of the construction process will be smooth. It's an investment of time and effort that pays off in the end. A well-planned storyboard sets the pace for the rest of the animation process. With a clear plan in place, it's time to bring our characters and scenes to life through sketching. The process of sketching is where the magic begins. It's a dance between the hand and the mind, where what was once abstract thought becomes tangible, visible, and real. The aim is to bring your story to life one stroke at a time. Whether you're using a traditional pencil and paper or a digital drawing tablet, the essence remains the same. As you sketch, remember that every line, every curve, every shade has a purpose. They come together to form not just characters and scenes, but an entire world brimming with emotions, actions, and possibilities. Starting with your main characters, give them a physical form. Observe the details. Is your character tall or short, slim or broad? What's their posture like? Are they energetic and agile or slow and languid? Each of these factors will influence the way your character moves and interacts within the world you're creating. Next, focus on the face. The eyes, the mouth, the expressions they hold are windows to the character's soul. They communicate emotions and intentions, so make sure you capture those vital details. A raised eyebrow, a crooked smile, a frown, each of these can tell a story of its own. Once your characters are sketched, it's time to draw the main scenes. These are the backdrops against which your story unfolds. Whether it's a bustling city, a serene forest, or the depths of outer space, each scene should reflect the mood and tone of your story. Remember, sketching is not just about creating visually appealing images. It's about laying the foundation for your animation. It's about capturing the essence of your story, the soul of your characters, and the spirit of your scenes. It's about setting the stage for the magic that is to come. So, take your time, embrace the process, and let your creativity flow. Sketching is where your story begins to take shape, where your characters start to live, and where your scenes start to breathe. Sketching breathes the initial life into our characters and scenes. Now that our sketches are ready, we move on to setting up the stage for our animation. At this point, we've got our characters and scenes roughly sketched out. But before they can spring to life, we need to give them a world to inhabit. This is where the setup and design phase comes into play. Here we craft the backgrounds, set designs, and other visual elements that will form the backdrop of our animation. Imagine laying the groundwork for a theatrical performance. The stage, the props, the lighting, all these elements come together to create the ambiance, the mood, and the context for the story. In animation, it's much the same. Our characters need a setting that complements and enhances their adventures. Creating these elements often involves graphic design software. Popular choices include Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator. These tools offer a vast array of features that can help you craft intricate and visually stunning environments. When designing backgrounds, consider the mood you want to evoke. A gloomy forest can set a suspenseful tone, while a bright, bustling cityscape might suggest a more upbeat narrative. The design should reflect the essence of your story and help convey its emotional undertones. Set designs are equally important. They provide context and depth to your scenes. Whether it's a cozy home interior or a sprawling alien landscape, the set gives your characters a sense of place and helps ground the audience in your animated world. Also, remember to maintain consistency in your designs. The style, color schemes, and level of detail should be uniform across all scenes to ensure a cohesive visual experience. The software we mentioned earlier, like Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator, can be instrumental in achieving this. They allow you to tweak and adjust your designs until they align perfectly with your vision. Experiment with different brushes, textures, and effects to add a unique touch to your designs. This phase may require a good deal of patience and attention to detail, but the end result, a well-designed set, is well worth the effort. A well-designed set brings our sketches into a real dynamic world. It breathes life into our characters and adds depth to our story. So take your time, let your creativity flow, and watch as your animated world comes to life. With our characters and set ready, it's time for the heart of the process, animation. Animation is truly the magic wand that brings our sketches and designs to life. It's that thrilling moment when our created characters begin to move, interact, and tell their stories. There are several techniques used for animating characters and elements. Traditional frame-by-frame animation, for instance, involves creating an individual drawing for each frame of film. It's a meticulous process, but the resulting fluid motion is often well worth the effort. Another popular method is motion graphics, a type of animation that uses graphic design principles in a filmmaking or video production context. This technique is particularly effective for creating dynamic, engaging content with a strong visual impact. Now let's talk about the tools of the trade. Adobe Animate is a versatile piece of software that supports a wide range of animation techniques. It's a favorite among many animators for its robust set of features and user-friendly interface. Another industry heavyweight is Toon Boom Harmony. This software offers a comprehensive array of tools for both traditional and digital artists. Its powerful capabilities make it a go-to choice for many animation studios around the world. No matter which software you choose, mastering the tools is only part of the equation. The true essence of animation lies in the ability to convey emotion, create compelling movement, and tell a captivating story. It's about breathing life into your characters, making them move in a way that resonates with the audience, and creating a world that engrosses the viewers. Remember, animation is more than just moving pictures. It's about creating an illusion of life, and that requires a keen understanding of the principles of animation, such as timing, spacing, and the laws of motion. It's about creating believable characters and worlds that connect with the audience on an emotional level. So, whether you're animating a bouncing ball or a complex character, remember, your goal is to create a sense of life and personality. It's this magical transformation that makes animation such a powerful storytelling medium. Animation brings our characters and scenes to life, creating a captivating story. Animation is not just about visuals. Sound effects play a crucial role too. Imagine watching your favorite animated film without any sound. The characters wouldn't feel real, the environment wouldn't feel immersive, the story wouldn't be as engaging. Sound effects bridge this gap by breathing life into animations. They add depth, evoke emotions, and enhance the overall experience of the viewer. So, how do we go about integrating sound into our animations? Well, it starts with identifying the sounds that match our visuals. These could be anything from a character's dialogue, the rustling of leaves, the splash of water, to the murmur of a crowd. These sounds help to create an atmospheric backdrop that complements the animation and enriches the story we're trying to tell. But it's not just about finding the right sounds. The timing of these sounds is equally important. For instance, the sound of a door creaking open should coincide with the visual of the door opening. This synchronicity between the visual and auditory elements is crucial in creating a believable animated world. Once we have our sounds and their timings, we need to edit and incorporate them into our animation. This is where software like Adobe Audition comes in. Adobe Audition is a comprehensive toolset that includes multi-track waveform and spectral display for creating, mixing, and editing audio content. It allows us to fine-tune our sounds, manipulate their properties, and seamlessly integrate them into our animation. But the job doesn't end there. The real magic happens when we start layering our sounds. A single scene could have multiple layers of sound: dialogues, ambient noise, sound effects, and music. When combined, these layers create a rich tapestry of sound that enhances the realism and emotional impact of the scene. Remember, sound design is an art in itself. It requires a keen ear, a good understanding of the story, and the ability to balance multiple elements. But when done right, it can transform our animation from a mere visual spectacle into a fully immersive experience. Sound effects add depth and realism to our animation. They make our characters feel real, our environments feel tangible, and our stories feel alive. So as we continue our journey into the world of animation, let's not forget the importance of sound. With animation and sound in place, we move to the grand finale, editing and post-production. This stage is a lot like assembling a puzzle. We've created all our pieces, characters, backgrounds, sound effects, and now it's time to put them together into a coherent, engaging story. First, we compile all our scenes. This involves placing each scene in the correct sequence and ensuring smooth transitions between them. It's like building a visual narrative, where each scene leads naturally into the next. Next, we add our sound effects. This is where our animation really starts to come alive. The right sound can convey emotion, create atmosphere, and enhance the visual experience. We carefully align our audio with the visual elements, synchronizing sound effects with actions, and dialogue with our characters' movements. Now let's talk about the editing process. Here we fine-tune our animation, adjusting timing, pacing, and rhythm to ensure our story flows seamlessly. We might also add special effects or transitions, or even tweak the color grading to create a certain mood or atmosphere. And what tools do we use for all this? Well, there are several video editing software options available, but Adobe Premiere and Final Cut Pro are among the most popular. Both offer a wide range of features for editing and post-production, from basic cuts and transitions to advanced effects and color correction. Remember though, while these tools can help us achieve our vision, they are not a substitute for good storytelling. Our aim should always be to use editing to enhance our story, not to fix fundamental flaws. And finally, let's not forget the importance of quality control. This is the time to check and double-check our work to ensure everything is as perfect as we can make it. We look for any errors or inconsistencies, any areas that could be improved or polished. Post-production can be a time-consuming process, but it's also incredibly rewarding. This is where all the elements come together to form a coherent, engaging animation. It's where our initial idea, nurtured through each stage of the production process, finally becomes a reality. Post-production is where all the elements come together to form a coherent, engaging animation. Our animation is ready, it's time to share it with the world. But before you hit the share button, there's one important step left: exporting your animation. Exporting is the process of converting your animation into a video format that can be played on various devices and platforms. This is crucial because different platforms support different video formats. Exporting is a relatively straightforward process, but there are a few things you need to consider. First, you need to choose the right video format. The most commonly used formats are MP4 and MOV. MP4 is widely supported and offers good quality with a smaller file size, making it perfect for online sharing. MOV, on the other hand, provides higher quality and is ideal for professional use. Another thing you need to consider is the video resolution. High-definition resolutions like 1080p or 4K offer the best quality, but also result in larger file sizes. If you're planning to share your animation online, consider the platform's guidelines. Some platforms may have restrictions on file size or resolution. Now let's talk about the actual exporting process. Most animation software has a dedicated exporting feature. This is usually located in the File menu. Once you click on Export, you'll be presented with a dialog box where you can choose your desired video format, resolution, and other settings. After you've made your selections, click Export again. and your software will start the process of converting your animation into a video file. Once your video is exported, it's time to share it. You can upload your animation to video sharing platforms like YouTube or Vimeo, share it on social media, or even send it directly via email or messaging apps. The world is your oyster. Remember, the goal is to make your animation accessible to as many people as possible. So, choose your export settings wisely, and consider the platform where you'll be sharing your animation. Exporting properly ensures your animation can be enjoyed by everyone, everywhere. Now go forth and let your creation shine. Creating an animation video is a journey, filled with creativity, precision, and technical skills. We've navigated through the seas of planning and storyboarding, sketching our characters and scenes, and setting up the design stage. We ventured into the heart of animation itself, breathing life into our creations through frame-by-frame animation or motion graphics. We added a splash of sound effects, the dialogue, the special audio that brings our characters to life. Then we took everything and polished it up in the editing room during post-production, ensuring every detail was perfect. Finally, we exported our masterpiece, ready to share with the world in a format that supports high quality. Animation is a fascinating world, and you have what it takes to create your own universe. Remember, every great animator started from scratch. So pick up your tools, let your imagination run wild, and start animating. Now that you know the steps, the world of animation awaits your creativity. Thank you for joining us on this journey.